Hello everybody, I am Dr. Bhalchandra Raval, Mycelia Homeopathy Director, and we are at this live session which is the first session conducted by us, conducted by Mycelia team. We welcome you.
Hello everyone, I am very much glad to introduce myself on this Facebook live platform. I am Dr. Sagar, MD in Homeopathic Medicine and a co-founder at Mycelia Homeopathy.
We would take this opportunity to discuss the cases of the disease of mycelia, disease of skin, and its homeopathic treatment. And leave your queries below so that we'll able to answer them after the live session is over. Okay.
Yeah, as Dr. Raval said, there are a lot of skin diseases which a person gets affected on daily basis, and they differ from each other on the basis of their symptoms, their presentation, their causes, their treatment, everything. So these diseases have been classified into different forms. In this today's live session, we will focus on few of the communicable diseases and some of the autoimmune diseases where homeopathy has an upper hand. So let us begin with the first disease in the list, that is acne.
Here I would like to tell you that Dr. Sagar would tell the causes and the symptom part, and I will focus on the homeopathy part.
Okay, no problem. So we will focus on the first disease in the list, that is acne. Acne is most commonly called as pimples, where a person gets affected with blisters or say spots on the face, spots on the face, on the neck, on the upper back, sometimes on the upper arms as well. There are few oil glands in beneath the skin. These pimples appears because there is overproduction in these oil glands, which leads to accumulation of the fluid, and that leads to the infection, resulting into acne. Acne, the probable causes are hereditary factors, and second most important cause is the hormonal imbalance, which results in acne. Hormonal imbalance is the reason we see that acne is most commonly seen in the young adults. That is the stage when there are a lot of hormonal imbalance going on into the body. Third important factor is the environmental factor, the changes in the environment and the pollution. So let us hear about the homeopathic treatment for acne from Dr. Ravi.
So, as Dr. Sagar said, there are various forms of acne. So, nodular, cystic, rosy, the acne with rosy hue, the common presentation, the acne with papules, the acne with pustules, vesicles. All these are treated with homeopathy. What homeopathy does is it detoxifies the skin, it rejuvenates the skin, it makes the skin pore free so that the oil discharges and the pores unclog, and hence it is more effective in with homeopathy. And what the advantage of homeopathy here is, it doesn't have any side effects.
Yeah, that means that acne can be definitely treated with homeopathic medicines. Now, moving on to another infectious disease that is called as molluscum contagiosum, especially seen in children. This is again a viral infection caused by a DNA poxvirus. But honestly speaking, this virus affects the person because of the low immunity. Here, the eruptions appears as a small dots, maybe 1 to 5 millimeters in diameter, with a center, punctured center. That is the typical appearance of molluscum. This molluscum affects usually the face, the arms, and the legs. Uh, it These eruptions may be painful sometimes. It may burst out in few cases, and sometimes it may lead to another infection like eczema. Most important part about molluscum is this disease is a contagious disease which may be transmitted from one person to another by contact or by sexual intercourse. So let us see about the treatment also.
So there are many antiviral medicines. There are many antiviral medicines which are in homeopathy and which treats molluscum contagiosum very well. But the main thing is it is self-limiting. Yet homeopathy hastens its recovery process. And the main thing, that is contagiosity, the contagiousness is reduced. homeopathy definitely cures molluscum contagiosum as a priority basis.
So now moving on to another group of diseases which are very important, and as per homeopathic point of view, these are the diseases where homeopathy has a real upper hand in treating these diseases. These are called termed as an autoimmune disease. Maybe it can be said as immune mediated skin diseases. The first in this list comes is vitiligo. You may also refer this as leukoderma. Uh, Honestly speaking, this is a very simple disease, very simple and say harmless disease as we say, but it is yet it is the most dreaded disease of its kind. Because what happens in this disease causes depigmentation of the skin cells, which leaves the skin white in the affected areas, of course. Once it leaves the skin white, the skin becomes white in patches, and that is not good, considered good in our society. That's why it is called as a social stigma. What happens actually in this vitiligo is there is destruction or say underproduction of the melanocytes. Melanocytes are the cells which brings the skin color to your skin. So, homeopathy has a major role to play in vitiligo. Let us see from Dr. Rao.
Yeah, so as Dr. Sagar said, that homeopathy, that vitiligo is more of a spreading kind of a disease, but it is not contagious, but it spreads on the skin. Okay, what the first thing homeopathy does, it's restricts its spread, and it the next thing it focus the few months for first 2-3 months or so, it restricts its spread, and for the next couple of months or so, what it restricts is its the tone, it makes the skin more even toned. Now the homeopathic medicines which are decided on the bodily characteristics and the mental characteristics of the patients, and many times the patient has certain doubts that what diet to follow in case of vitiligo. So I would say you should avoid seafoods. Also you should avoid anything sour. Okay, so this leads to a better recovery, and homeopathy is there to treat it completely, to cure it completely. Vitiligo is completely curable by homeopathy.
So once we are talking about the autoimmune disease, as Dr. Raval very well explained about vitiligo, we must now focus on the next disease that is very important again in terms of homeopathic treatment. The second disease we treat it with very much success is psoriasis. In psoriasis, again, it is a disease which is considered to go on for years and years together without getting a proper treatment. The most characteristic feature of psoriasis is we get raised eruptions over the skin surfaces, most commonly on the joints, let's say knees, elbows. Sometimes it is seen only on palms and soles. In few cases, we see only scalp psoriasis. So be any type of psoriasis, the lesions would be like raised eruptions of dry skin is there with lot of itching, and a most important characteristic feature of this disease is scaling. What happens in the skin cells which leads to accumulation of the skin in terms of scaling. So you may call it as scruffy skin. So there are a lot of factors which will affect this psoriasis and it will trigger psoriasis, but these factors may differ from person to person. Usually we have seen that in obese patients and patients suffering with diabetes, there are more chances of psoriasis getting aggravated. Now we will see about the treatment in homeopathy.
Okay, so as Dr. Sagar said, there are many triggers of psoriasis, and hence the remedies also differ. What is good is that homeopathy uh, decreases, as psoriasis decreases the immunity, homeopathy increases the immunity level, it acts at the immunity level, and it increases the body's own healing capacity, so that the raised patch are looked more even, and over a period of time, what homeopathy wants to achieve, what homeopathy aims to achieve is the recurrence to subside, the flare-ups to subside. This takes a long period of time, so a person should understand that it will go into the treatment phase may go into the phase lessen. The relapse period is more less intense. The relapse period is of less duration. This is what homeopathy achieves, and ultimately homeopathy achieves a very long remission period, and hence psoriasis is definitely curable with homeopathy. Yeah.
Now we will discuss the next disease in the list. So that is eczema. Eczema again is considered to be a chronic condition where it affects the skin on the various parts of the body, which makes it red and inflamed. This inflammation causes a lot of itching, and once the person scratches, then the skin becomes more rough. This roughness is caused, and then because skin becomes very much dry, this dryness leads to some of the cracks also, which may get it painful. In few cases we see that there are blisters formation with pus formation inside that, which may also lead to infection. So all in all, eczema again is considered as an hereditary disease where it runs into the families, and it is also aggravated by many of the environmental factors. It again, eczema again is believed to be treated with homeopathy better by homeopathy treatment. So we'll see about the homeopathy treatment.
Yeah. So basically, what Dr. Sagar said again here, as in psoriasis, here also the triggers factor varies. But first thing which I would like to tell you is that do not use the chemical based compound. It increases the chances of eczema, because the lotions are having the ability to lessen it, but then it suppresses the superficial eczema, but it doesn't go away. What goes away, the eczema goes away only by homeopathic medicine, and if homeopathic medicines are taken regularly, eczema is bound to be cured. And the main points on which the medicines are selected are age of the disease, the stage of the age of the patient, the stage of the disease, and the trigger factors. These vary, so hence the remedies vary. But again here, as in other diseases which we are taking in this live session, eczema also is a curable condition, and it can definitely be cured.
Yeah. So before wrapping up this session, because we should add a small and quick note on urticaria. Unfortunately, urticaria has been always been treated as a say allergic condition. But to be very frank with you, 50% of cases coming with urticaria are allergic, and 50% are because of the non-allergic reasons. So that means that urticaria is related to the sensitivity of the patient. It is not always the allergen which causes this sensitivity. So in urticaria, what happens? The person gets small dots or say lines on the any part of the body with which you may call as hives. So these hives or say dots, this gives lot of burning and itching in that region with a lot of burning, and it is aggravated by warmth. So in urticaria, again, the treatment of homeopathy has an upper hand. We'll listen about the homeopathy treatment from Dr. Raval.
Yeah, so as Dr. Sagar said, there are many anti-allergic medicines, there are antihistaminic medicines which are being taken for urticaria, for hives. But what happens is dependency. The dependency over these anti-allergic medicines and these antihistaminics doesn't cease. What homeopathy does is, the first thing homeopathy does is lowers the dependency on the anti-allergic medicines and antihistaminics. Okay, and also the main target of homeopathy is to remove the underlying cause of urticaria. So the targeted area is the allergic response, the specific immune mediated response which leads to urticaria. So urticaria definitely takes some time, but then urticaria is amenable to homeopathy, and it has fantastic results, and we have cases of urticaria in which there is no dependency whatsoever on any anti-allergic, any antihistaminic medicines. So if you like this video, then subscribe to it and also shoot your queries, also shoot your comments, do like our videos, and we'll take now ask me anything session, for which I think there might be some queries from the our audience.
Yeah, we have got few queries. Let us take this first query. It is from Miss Krishna Mane. She is, I think, a beautician, and she comes. She says that she comes across for many clients who has pimples, and what her question exactly is: can homeopathy treatment help them completely, and can homeopathy be taken along with the beauty products which she recommends? What is your say on this, doctor?
I think homeopathy is definitely homeopathy can be definitely taken with any of beauty products. There's no harm in any beauty products and homeopathy mixing. Okay, and homeopathy is definitely, as we said earlier, it is has a very good option. It is a very good option for this pimples and acne. Any particular pimple or acne, it might be nodular, might be cystic, might be papular, might be pustular, and any with a rosy hue, any particular acne or any particular pimple can be treated with homeopathy without any side effects. So I think
That is nicely explained. I think you must have got your answer, Krishna. So now let us see. So the next question, which is from Mr. Yogendra, he asks whether how much time it takes to cure psoriasis. I think I should answer this question,
Sure.
doctor. See, Yogendra, what happens is this is actually a very good question from your end. Some part of it has been already been explained by Dr. Raval while we were discussing about the psoriasis disease. But I'll tell you how we proceed in a case of psoriasis. Any given case, whenever a case of psoriasis comes to us, we try to take it into in totality. We try to form the treatment period also. We always like to tell the patient how much time it will require to treat this psoriasis. So first aim in first 2 3 months we are focusing on the active symptoms of the disease. Like there is lot of itching is there, scaling is there, there is lot of discomfort for the patients. So with these medicines, the itching, the scaling, the these all the symptoms reduces in first 2 3 months, and the disease process gets arrested. Uh, Definitely the total duration of the treatment varies from person to person depending upon the extent of the disease, the stage of the disease, of course, and the age of the patient also. But if extensive cases, it may last longer. The reason, I will also explain the reason for this. The reason is that in psoriasis, as Dr. Raval has explained, that this is a recurring disease. There are a lot of chances that the psoriasis may come back. So we have to give such medicines to break the tendencies where this recurrence rate should be avoided. So that the treatment protocol, we usually advise our patients for any of the psoriasis patients for at least for 8 to 12 months of treatment.
Great.
So we
Now,
will look
moving
for
to the
another
next query.
questions.
Yeah.
I think we have still have some time to take couple of questions again.
Meanwhile, shoot your comments, like our videos, and just tell us how did you like it. Please subscribe to
Yeah,
it,
one
follow
more
it.
question is there from
Yeah.
Miss Sonu. It says that can chronic and extensive eczema be cured with homeopathy completely?
Of course, chronic and eczema, chronic as well as long-standing as eczema has excellent results in homeopathy, and you can definitely start a homeopathy. The reason being that eczema has many factors which are so to say very long standing, but the specificity of the bodily traits, the specificity of the mental traits which we take into consideration, and on which we prescribe homeopathic medicines, eczema is definitely curable, and we have many cases in which eczema has been successfully cured.
Yeah. Quickly to add one more question, the remaining questions we definitely will answer after this session. But before wrapping up, before closing this session, I'd like to take this important question which has been asked by Mr. Mihir. He says that how does online homeopathy works? is it necessary to come to your clinic for this for the treatment, or you can treat it online for skin disease, of course?
Great
So
questions. You can answer.
yeah, see, this platform which we have created, mysimilar.com or mysimilar homeopathy, this is basically to reach out for the people who are staying at long distance, who cannot come to Mumbai or cannot come to our center. But we have this main streamlined this platform where a person can take treatment from his home. Like this is very simple steps. Like homeopathic treatment, it requires a detailed case taking before we come on to the medicines. So we have prepared a platform where a person can give his details from his home. He just has to register on our website. Once he registers, we send a separate case file and a login password with that. Using that, the person can fill a detailed questionnaire about their disease. Suppose he is suffering from psoriasis, so there is a different questionnaire for psoriasis. He will has to write all the answers in details. There is an option to send the disease photos also. If some investigation have been done or has been advised by us, you can also send those investigations through that portal. Once all the information is collected, we take one-to-one session with the patient via phone call or via video calls, and ultimately after the all these sessions are over, we discuss this case amongst ourselves. We come on to a remedy and we send the medicines by courier or whatever services are available. The medicines are received by the patient at their home, at the luxury of their home. They don't have to travel. All these things can be done, especially in the skin disease, where there is no need to touch the like patient doesn't need physical examinations, because photos can speak for that, and of course the history is also there. So
So also the follow-up is there. So we have a system of definite system for the follow-up. So this works very fine, and online homeopathy is very easy nowadays. And we have a system which is very convenient, which is for the patient. As for us, it is definitely convenient, but main thing, it is convenient for the patients. Okay. So any more
yeah,
queries or?
we hope that this session was enjoyable. This was our first session, so we will come up with more and more such sessions. This session was an attempt to cross the bridge. Like many patients were asking a few questions about skin disease, so we thought that we should come up and give such small explanations about certain diseases. These are such a small set of diseases. There are a lot more many diseases, skin diseases, which we can treat. You can ask those questions on our online portal, and we will get back to you. These sessions are always free. First, you have to understand that if we are able to treat that disease, then we will say that way, and then you can definitely think of starting the treatment with us. Thank you so much, and goodbye for now.
So to get a future notifications, subscribe or follow our live notifications, and you will just get it if at all we are whenever we are going live. And even though the session is complete, you can shoot your comments. We'll definitely get back to you, and on a private message you can leave your number, and we'll get back to you for any queries whatsoever. Okay, and thank you for joining us. Thank you everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.